Yes, please.
Help me make this meeting fast. We need to get to dinner.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. No, speak ahead.
Hey, that's what you want. Thank you. Thank you for opening them up.
I don't see the people
I'm
moving.
just- We're gonna have an
Yeah.
hour executive session. Can we make a regular meeting 45 minutes?
Whatever, I like it.
Okay, it's working now. I have just, yeah. Okay, so turn it back on. Hang on just a minute.
I think we're still working on that, so we're not over. We're just.
When did that start?
This today.
May 1st.
Oh, really? Okay.
Okay, so it is working. And we've got those back on.
Yeah.
We are streaming live.
All right. Yeah.
It being 5 o'clock and with a quorum present, this meeting is called to order. And as a recipient of federal funds and in support of Dearborn County's efforts to ensure non-discrimination and equal access to all its citizens. The county gathers statistical data regarding participants in county activities. Therefore, we've provided a voluntary Title VI public involvement survey at this meeting. You're not required to complete the survey. However, the form is anonymous and will be used solely for the purpose of monitoring our compliance with Title VI and the ADA. And as indicated in the notice of the executive session, our meeting was to discuss interviews and negotiations with industrial or commercial prospects or agents or industrial commercial prospects by the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, the Office of Tourism Development, the Indiana Finance Authority, and Economic Development Commission, a local economic development organization as defined in Indiana Code, or a governing body of a political subdivision which is classified confidential by state and federal statutes under Indiana Code. Also indicated in the published notice of executive session, the discussions during the executive sessions dealt with issues deemed confidential subject to Indiana Code, which pertains to discussing strategy with respect to the purchase or lease of real property by the governing body up to the time a contract or option to purchase or lease is executed by the parties. And we're certifying at this point that no other matters except for those which this executive session was called for were discussed during the executive session. And there is no action to be taken from the executive session. Moving to housekeeping. You've all received a copy of the minutes of the June 9, 2025 meeting. Are there any additions or corrections? And if not, I'd entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The minutes of the June 9, 2025 meeting are approved. And moving to claims, okay.
Now we get the claim.
Yeah, that's right. We're considering those claims listed in the agenda. Yep, you want us to take a look? Unless there's a comment. I'll ask for a motion.
Don't move. Move, we pay those.
Will there be a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion is approved unanimously. You'll notice that on number 9 on your agenda is the Bayer Becker report, and for good reason, we're going to move the Bayer Becker report to before old business. So, Mark, if you'd like to start that.
Good morning to you all. I'll just go right down the list here, 1 through 4. The West Harrison Interstate 74 eastbound ramp. Mike and I did have a conversation with Jacob German with Barnes Thirdenberg. He's a county representative, and he's he's gonna research more and talk to some more people at INDOT and at the State House in terms of what can be done and try to push that project along. So we're just waiting for that. Just stand by to hear from next from him. So
Good luck.
that's where we're at on that right now. So we did receive the railroad crossing document that for the construction cost, they estimated at $225,000 for that. And there's also a legal document that we're going to need Anthony to kind of go through. So before we actually send that back, Jim, to send that to you to sign and all that before we send that back to the railroad company.
Okay.
So that should have been all in your packets. That was provided by Mike.
Mhm.
Does anybody have any questions on those at all by chance? Or?
So there's 225,913. That's now the cost that we're, with all the information we have, that replaces the $230,000 estimate that we have here on this overall.
The first original one that they sent us was 400,000. That was their estimate at the time, but now that we've had the meeting and we've met with them, it's 225,000.
Okay.
On my engineer's estimate that you may be looking at right now, I'm just rounding that up to 230.
230. Okay. I understand the numbers.
Mhm.
It's been a process. I can tell you.
Okay.
Mhm.
Any other further questions on that? I guess also in reference to that, I did provide a task order
Mhm.
for 5B, and that will curtail doing the construction drawings, permitting, bidding, construction administration, and then the certified survey also right away to get dedication.
That was one of the items that you received by email over the weekend. So this board needs to approve that task order.
Yes, I request that, yes.
That it's easier to find but in here. The 5B.
In reference to some of the other discussion about extending the road and all that, that's something that we can deal with as we're working through this.
So task order 5B.
Got a green sticky.
I see a 5A, I don't see a 5B. I'm on the wrong sheet here.
5A was approved.
Mhm.
Oh, I see, okay, got it.
So just in reference to 5A, we are in the midst of finalizing our topo and a little bit of boundary work. And Atlas had done the borings out there, 3 borings done on that. So I'll be getting that information in a couple weeks. And then we can get off to the races on this thing.
5B is just moving along task order 5, and that's for the Moore Drive project. As soon as you're prepared, I entertain a motion concerning this task order.
I motion to approve task order 5B.
There's a motion on the floor to approve task order 5B. Would there be a second?
Second.
Would there be any further discussion? I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? And the motion to approve task order 5B is approved.
Okay. We'll start getting on that hard. The third item was the West Harrison NDOT clearing permit and billboard permit. Mike and Jim and I were trying to find our way through that thing. Mike did make a phone call to Norton Signs to see if they had any documentation as to those existing billboards out there. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. So, Jim, if you want to chime in.
My only comment was this billboard's so old, they obviously missed it on their inventory of billboards. It should have been grandfathered in, and I think that's our only defense. we have evidence showing that billboard existed back in the sixties,
Yes, yes,
before Lady Bird, made her wishes known.
right.
Wasn't this one of those cases where, all we want to do is clean the thing up, right?
We wanted to cut down the trees so people could read the billboard.
Yeah, so what's wrong with begging forgiveness afterwards rather than asking for permission before?
I didn't think we had to be forgiven. I thought the state had to be forgiven because they missed it on their inventory.
I thought we just cut down the trees and leave it at that.
That's
What's the problem?
Sounds like something George
No,
wanted.
seriously,
I
I'm being,
We tried to do it the right way, and to do it the right way, we had to get permission to do it.
You want me to buy you a chainsaw?
I guess. If same thing.
Wants to do it.
I have two that I could loan one of them to somebody temporarily.
yeah, well, there you go.
I mean, is the billboards that important? I mean, that's just, it's like, it's almost just let them
Billboard that
go.
never existed, we'd probably be a lot happier.
Yeah. So I guess we're, I can't go any farther, I guess, is what I'm saying on it. I don't know what else to reference we can do. We can certainly call,
So would it do any good for us to write a letter? Accusing them of having a bad inventory?
you're good, I guess, yeah.
Mike? We're trying to figure out a next step on these billboards. You think we could work together and prepare a letter to the state, just suggesting if they had missed this billboard on their inventory, it should have been grandfathered in and.
George. We can
I
talk to him and talk to her
One
anyway.
lever, couple levers that redevelopment commission could consider pulling, that we haven't pulled yet. Be maybe to consider working with the Indiana Economic Development Corporation's ombudsman, to kind of troubleshoot issues. Economic development related for the loans, we've used them before, with some success on projects here, or our state legislators for assistance within that.
Can we just reach out to the Seymour district contract? It's within the Seymour district.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is to ask them.
I can't think of their name.
He
Whoever the Seymour district.
oversees the gentleman that's running the billboards.
It seems to be a much more civil way to solve this.
2012.
I don't know if
I
it's
think so.
Tony. I think it's who's
We do it to first.
well, it's Jody. That's who we're dealing with. Who oversees Jody? I can't think of his name.
Tony is gonna be here on 17th.
Hey,
I think that could maybe be a fruitful conversation, unless you've already talked to them.
I've not talked
about that. Before you.
Okay, so is it the sense of this board that we try the ombudsman next?
I can get you a name for sure of who that district contact is.
Sure. I'll make a phone call. I have no problem doing it.
If you do that, it'd be fine.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to make decisions for this group, but to me, that'd be fine.
Yeah, if everybody else is fine, I can get them with
Any objection?
the district income, the Seymour district contact, to be clear.
Yeah.
No one's objecting.
Okay.
It's fine, reach out to
Yeah.
Seymour District.
Okay.
And we have another task order.
Yeah. So let's we can go into the next task order here. I'm going to preface this order by Dennis and I met on site out there on this project, and when I originally came up with the improvements to the two streets on there, it was basically just to get the thing done, was to go farther and make more and more improvements. But out there right now, there is a low point that's going to be taking on more water as the lots get developed in that. However, there is a lot that's being developed right now that detention wasn't required. And now I think we fear that, and then Dennis's office gets calls from people downstream about erosion and that when the water is flowing real faster there. So there's a concern there. So what we're considering is to put in a detention facility where the St. E's property is. It may be above ground, it may be below ground. I just have not talked to St. E's yet. But I think it's prudent to address the stormwater flows through there right now. We weren't doing that in the original numbers I came up with. We were just improving what's there.
Yeah.
So in your packet, I had a graphic kind of showing what we're gonna do in that. And mind you, this has to be cleared with St. E's. This will have to be, because we have no other place to put detention except this location.
So just clear it up, you would reach out to St. E's to see if this is even a possibility before we would move forward with this task order?
Well, I think you can proceed with the task order. No, that's right. I agree with you. That's great.
I mean, if. I don't wanna see you invest a bunch of time in Bear Becker's staffing and.
Yeah.
Coming up with a solution to this and then saying, you go, well, we don't want. it."
Yeah,
But, and there's another thing I need to throw on here.
all right.
I was talking with county engineer today. The county does not have an easement for one of those pipes that runs under St. E's property. That
Sure.
is something that we would need to address.
Yes,
before the
I
county
know the
can
pipe you're
take-
talking about there. Yes,
Okay.
yes. We
So-
definitely want to do that.
You know that needs to be addressed.
So in between, Dennis and I meeting on site and now, I was just having a hard time getting a hold of St. E's, but I got a hold of somebody today. We just haven't talked. So I'm a day late right now on that, so.
So when you talk, are you going to need anyone from this group with you?
It'd certainly be beneficial, I think. Yeah, I think so.
Is there anyone who feels they would be the appropriate person to do that?
Well, since I'm the one that brought it all up,
Okay,
probably would be me.
Okay, and if you run into a problem, let me know and I'll go.
we'll get a call together on that, Dennis, and go from there. But
So it's we'll table down this task order until our next meeting.
yes, yes. So I guess as the end product, we'll know then.
Mhm.
And then I'll actually update a new task, throw this task order out, a new task order, whatever it may be. I was hoping to just get this done to try to keep it going, but I think Dennis makes good sense here. Let's wait on it.
Will this slow anything down if we don't do this today?
I'm sorry?
Will it slow anything down if we don't do it
No,
today?
no, not now. No,
Okay.
no, you're fine. Big one is more. We need to get more going on more. So that's it. Unless the board
Okay.
has any other questions for me.
Thank you, Mark. You know, I don't see on the agenda anywhere, consideration of our finances.
It's housekeeping, financial review,
I skipped that.
but they take a look at it now.
Let me go back and get it. You've all received a copy of our financials. It's the smaller print on this one, I think. So are there any questions or concerns about our financials? And if not, go on to old business. Cole, are you ready? Okay, you're up.
Are we doing old business or new business?
We're in old business.
This is the
On new
new
business.
business.
So the covenants is under old. And the Bright Tip project is under old.
Sorry, Nicole. I got caught.
Need the steps anyway, Jim.
Hey, it's all the scratching I got on my agenda. Okay, US 50 Business Park Covenants. May I turn that over to our attorney? It was like going back up there and finding where the financials were I missed.
I reviewed the covenants for this park and there were no covenants. It was
So-
not subdivided in a traditional sense.
The answer is, there are no covenants. It's not a traditional business park. It's just a place where people have established businesses.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you have anything further to say?
That's all I had.
You're wonderful. Right, if project.
I think that got kind of talked about under,
I think that's fall under that task order
Task
6A that we had discussed for the most part.
You're talking about the Bright TIF project.
Right tip project, unless there was more you wanted.
Looking at this and saying, what more is there to say?
Okay,
Okay. Didn't delay you long, did we? Okay, you're up.
Maybe sit down again.
You need the steps. I heard that.
You're right.
Come on.
Nicole Bailey, Director of Planning and Zoning. I was asked to come to your meeting this evening to give some updates on some enforcement cases and some projects. So Randall Avenue, the Wooling property, unfortunately, it's been a enforcement case in our office since 2003. We do have a few judgments on the property. We also have asked IDEM to do inspections on the property, which they have. In 2023, they found violations on the property. So with the research that we've done, we've also sent them out a new enforcement letter, as they are worse than they have been before. Even with an agreement that we had with them in 18. So I need to sit down with our attorney because of the history of it and the previous judgments, to see how that gets called upon in our court system, because that's where we're at again. But we need to make sure that we have the old cases in hand as well, because that'll make a difference in front of the judge. So what it was supposed to initially be is the cars were supposed to be under house or behind the fence. And of course, if anybody's driven out there lately, that is
Never,
an understatement as far as
never happened, has it?
no, of what they have done. So IDEM actually says in their report from 2023 that all the vehicles are supposed to be under roof, to help prevent any of the contaminants from the rains and snows and everything getting into the ground from the vehicles, just by washing the vehicles and then washing to the ground, which of course has never been done. And that was actually part of the permitting process back in the day, is it was supposed to be everything that was supposed to be in a building, and nothing outside. So, and then IDEM also said that they don't have an auto salvage license through the state, which is a violation. And I believe they tried to get us to sign that for them, that they were in compliance, and we rejected that as well. So with all the different items, it's now a meeting between myself and the attorney to see how we file it with the courts, because there has been so much. It's not as simple as starting a new one. Want to be able to take the previous judgments with us in hand that they've never complied with as well.
So our next step is legal action.
Yes, and most of the time with the severe cases like this, so we've gone from filing in circuit court to an interlocal agreement with Lawrenceburg to use their code court. But because of the severity of this enforcement case and with the other judgments that have been through circuit, I'm imagining that we'll be filing in circuit, which potentially could take a little longer than we're used to the last couple years. So when we were filing in circuit court, it could be 30 to 60 days just to get a date. Because of course, we're at the bottom of the poll when it comes to circuit court.
We've been looking at this stuff for years. So any forward motion is appreciated.
Yes. So we will be moving forward. Like I said, the next stage is emails back and forth over the last 2 weeks, gathering the history of the case. It'll be sitting down with the attorney to figure out the next step after all the history.
If you'd keep us informed, we'd be delighted.
I can, what I'll do is if it's something big enough, I can come to the next meeting. If it's just something minor where at least we've had that meeting and something's been filed.
Just
I'll
send us the
send an email.
information. Just let us know.
Yes,
Okay. Hey, thank you.
you're welcome.
We-
And then I was asked to give an update on the Bright Meadows Park project. The park board, so my office is also working with, helping out the park board, through this process, and this is part of the Stellar program. Where the park board had asked the redevelopment to, donate some money towards that project. Because you guys have agreed to, I've asked to give an update on that. So initially, the plan was to try to get, an application into IDNR, this August. We were running a little bit behind trying to get a master park plan approved. And then ultimately the state did decide that they weren't taking any applications this year anyway. So, which it works out for the park board and their master plan that they, have to finish. So, we're trying to look for an application of August of 26, which then would put us into about a year review under federal applications. And more than likely construction being in 28, I think is where we're looking at now. So of course, the park board, on behalf of them, just thanking you for the donation and just wanting to be able to keep that in mind for that future update on that process as well.
That was the next item under new business.
Yes.
And I thought that was old business because we've been doing this for a while. And our donation was just approved by county council.
Yes, yes.
4-3. Is that what it was? 4-3.
Yes.
It just got approved.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
And then you guys wanted an update on the processing plant as far as permitting wise, or is that me?
No, that was a different matter.
Oh.
It was involved with. Anyway,
Thank you, Nicole.
thanks.
So was I supposed to be the one giving the park board update?
Yeah, you.
Okay.
Okay, last item on the business, water processing TIF allocation area. In the past, when we've had a big project, which is expensive, we have re-TIFed the allocation area so that we would have the money to make the payments to pay off what we are investing in this project. And to do that is kind of like doing a new TIF. And if we're going to do that, to collect the money, it's going to be necessary for us to make those payments. We need to do it before the end of this year. That's right, isn't it, Mike?
Yes,
Okay. And that process takes what, about 4 or 5 months?
due to speeds, if you have the. Processes, redevelopment has to pass a declaratory resolution. You then go to plan commission, to ensure alignment with the county's comp plan. Then goes to board of commissioners for approval, then comes back to redevelopment for a confirmatory resolution. So there's a series of meetings to go through and, just in our experience, it's good to kind of get the ball started on these TIF, amendments or establishments. July, August, that way we're not pushing it against December 31st.
So
Schedule a bunch of special meetings around.
if we start this resolution in our August meeting, we're okay. Okay.
What I would recommend is if the commission would like to move forward with setting up a TIF allocation area for whitewater processing, is just giving Anthony and I Mayor Becker approval to begin assembling the documents, the resolutions, and bring those back to you for consideration at your August meeting.
Okay.
Motion for that.
Does anyone have any questions about this?
We need to do this to pay the bond, right?
Well, we won't be bonding it
To cover the cost.
to cover the cost, right?
No, I don't think we're anticipating a bond. as
We
far
get back
as-
to,
You've done a tax abatement. Well, county council has, the county supported a tax abatement for this project, trying to. Not to get into the intricacies, property tax and TIF and tax abatement, but it just doesn't make sense to bond it unless you've done a tax abatement.
right,
So right now, this is just part of the West Harrison tip, right?
yes, that's correct.
And how many years does that have on it yet? That is
It was
different.
done in 2006, I don't know, it's 25.
I think 39 is when the original TIF expires. So this would. For up to 25 years, extend. The clock for the. TIF on these parcels for whitewater processing. Allowing redevelopment to collect that revenue. For the full 25 years instead of just in 2039 for the next 13 years. Reason we do that. Is. When we put together the payback scenario for this project and the Senate package, the redevelopment. And county council with the approval of the tax abatement. Awarded for this project. The payback scenario. Anticipated payback of about 13 years, 12 to 13 years. For the $1.4 million valuation of the incentive package for whitewater processing, make this $20.5 million investment in West Harrison. Bring 130 jobs, increasing to 180. But. Beyond paying for the more dry project. We've been learning as of late, there are other infrastructure needs in West Harrison. I anticipate that as. Development continues in West Harrison in future years, so there will be more needs in order to accommodate those new employers and the creation of that new tax base for the county. And it's my recommendation that redevelopment equip itself with the financial means to take on projects to continue promoting economic development in the West Harrison too.
Yeah, we got, approached on one of those for the water. Providing water for potential baker there and potential other development that needed a lot of water that's just not available right now. Is that correct?
Right.
Yeah.
We got the project coming up with the water company,
Mhm.
and we got a project coming up to extend the on-ramp,
Yeah.
so it's. We need money.
I'd make a motion to move forward. I'll second that.
So there's a motion on the floor to move forward with retiffing the project. Could there be a second?
Second.
I think Doug already seconded it.
Jim?
It doesn't matter, which of them.
Oh, we have 2 seconds, so pick one.
Doug was first, so
You got it.
we'll put, sorry, Jim.
We'll give you the next one. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay, so let's stop for a minute. Are there any questions or comments before we take the vote? Roll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? And the it's approved. So if you'll move ahead. We'll handle that at our August meeting. Let's move on to the One Dearborn report.
Just a couple items quickly, Mark with Bear Becker's not here anymore, but with the task order and the budget that's been received and the construction agreement from Banesh, the engineer for Genesee and Wyoming Railroad for the Moore Drive project, and the updated budget of
for the Moore Drive project. I feel we have what we need now to move forward with formal submission of for the Ready To grant that we've received already an allocation from SEI Ready. So I'll take that to our county council president and our board of commissioners president on your behalf to get their approval on moving forward with formally submitting for that grant to the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. So we'll move forward on that and we'll report progress back to you on that in August. And then the second item I wanted to just think you should consider is last November, we had Baker Tilly prepare a forward-looking through the life of each of your TIF districts, a cash flow projection. It's just helpful information to have as you look at, taking on projects and, what funds you're going to have to use towards these things. I think it's wise to maybe get that, especially since you've had a major project here, which is probably going to be breaking ground soon with whitewater processing. I think an annual update of your cash flows is probably wise. So I don't necessarily need you guys to take action on it today, but I just wanted to take the opportunity to discuss that with you. So that's something we would ask Baker Tilly to do if that's information you'd like.
Any questions for Mike? Thanks, Mike.
Mhm.
Anything from our attorney?
No, I don't have the updates.
Thank you, sir. Is there any other business to be brought before this commission this evening? If not, at this point, I'd give the public a chance to make any comments or ask questions. There is none. This meeting is adjourned. Denny. Hey, thanks for volunteering.